Monkey here with Hazard4. You may have heard of them as Civilian Labs, and so this is their new tactical division, which is this first ShotShow here at 2010. And so I'll bring it over here and give us a little bit of history about the Civilian Labs and Hazard4.
Yeah, I'd be happy to, Monkey. Thanks a lot for coming by.
Oh, great to be
here. For the last 5 years or so, Civilian Lab was a brand that was sort of in the same space as like a North Face or Burton. We did high-tech outdoor sport sort of stuff. Things like this. We had a chest pack, for instance, that would mount on the chest. You could use it for snowboarding, backcountry, hiking, that sort of thing. And it was all sort of in civilian materials, civilian colors and labels, but it was all military compatible in that we had MOLLE, we had things like 4-point harnesses, stuff like that. And as much as we anticipated that the products would initially sell to the enthusiasts of snow sports and that sort of thing, it turned out at least half of the people would be saying, I'm going in a spy plane, I'm going on an FBI mission, I'm going to buy this, or we're at Quantico, Virginia, we're buying this for our group, but we don't like the orange logos, we don't like the civilian materials, we get where it's coming from. Could you do it in khaki? Could you do it in Cordura? So this year at our booth here, we're launching those questions being answered with this product line. So not only did we change the materials and the logos, we actually created a whole new line of products in that vein with our sort of progressive approach to design, but for that military market.
Great. Yeah, and from my observations, I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but they specialize in a great amount of modularity on how the bags can be strapped to one's body, and so we'll go over some here for you guys to check out.
Yeah, that's true, Monkey. One of the main things that we've pushed beyond progressive design and sort of futuristic features that we're trying to look out 5 years ahead, do something like you might see in a James Cameron movie, but actually bring it to life. We've wanted to make things really multifunctional so that one bag, one pack becomes multiple things for various missions, for various size loads, and modularity so that the packs work together. And I can demonstrate that on this new bag here, which is called our Tonto concealed carry mini messenger.
Yeah, go for it here.
Yeah, the way you've seen me wearing it here, it's sort of set up as a little 3-point chest pack. It's got a thicker strap across the back that's keeping this fairly comfortable, even though it's loaded up a little bit. And it has this extra strap here, and it presents as a chest pack. But as we were talking about that multi-use or modularity, you can open it up. And in fact, it's actually pretty much just like a little bag that you could wear in a city. And in this coyote color, it comes off more militaristic or police use. But we have a black version, and the black version really just comes off as a street bag. Even a lot of women here at the ShotShow have been interested in them as a concealed carry purse, sort of an item. Yeah. And the concealed carry part of this bag comes from the fact that typically where an outside flap would be quite flat, we've made a 3-dimensional pocket here with sort of interruptions in the front to break up the silhouette. But inside, we've got capability with Velcro to put a concealed carry holster, and this is a new modular holster that we have that, by virtue of the fact that it can adjust the strapping here, we can actually change it from something as thin as a 1911 style gun, even though they're big, they're quite thin, up to something thick like this is an XD 45 or a SIG P229, that sort of gun. It'll accommodate it. And apart from other holsters in this class, it has a neat feature in that there's a thumb brake retainer on it, and the thumb brake is stiffened, so it has a nice crisp release to it. It doesn't bend, it just snaps open. So when it's in a bag like this, you can open it up. And since it's modular, that strap can be either removed or adjusted to fit. And when it's rotated upside down, it actually makes quite a nice platform for things like police radios, iPhones, that sort of object. And then with that retainer, it makes it much safer because an open-topped holster of this style inside of a bag can get knocked because the bag does have soft sides to it. So if that gets knocked, the gun is now flying around inside of the bag with a live trigger, potentially with a chambered round, and there you're looking to shoot someone. So
some bad stuff.
Right. In our opinion, this is the only way to go with this holster that's as simple as that. You got to have that.
Yeah, I believe that's the simplest one I've seen with the snap. So
yeah,
it looks pretty solid.
Then the other feature on here is that down the spine is a reinforcement. So with something as heavy as 1911 or P226, you usually get pretty noodly and squirrely, but this one here is quite stiff. It stands up on its own, and then when you install that into a webbing system with Velcro like this one here, and you pick the angle that'll be appropriate for your draw.
Show here.
You can show it like that. Then we really install it in there, and it'll stay right within the confines of this little bag. And when we pop it closed, we can zip that all the way up, And then, as we said, the silhouette of the gun is broken up. It has a big buckle here, the buckle locks. And even on here, we have different patches that we can install. We have a 3D rubber logo on here, but it could be something a bit more fun. And in a black bag for the city, it really looks quite stealthy at that point.
Yeah.
Now, as we dig through and open up the locking buckle here, this will flip over, revealing a big patch of MOLLE area here. And then this buckle here can, in fact, even go upside down, buckle into itself, and now the bag can live like this. You'll see it will sort of separate, and depending on the load, you may actually want to relocate those straps. We have 2 sets of buckles, and switch them from the lower carry portion up to this carry portion here, and it'll sit much nicer. And some operators may want to use it this way because it does have the MOLLE, and there might be things here like magazines that they may want to get to.
It appears to have access to the main compartment.
Right, and it's always then open. You have the zippers, but then you have quick in and out. And you've noticed that the main compartment also has this Velcro inside, so that means that that pistol can now go in here. And on the back of this, as on the back of the bag, we have a belt loop, so that could be looped into the belt. So when the gun is taken out, it isn't pulling the whole bag with it. And a police officer or an agent that's trained with a hip draw won't have to retrain. It's right there on the hip, and you're pulling the gun right from that same area.
Yeah, it's bad news on a snag.
Right. So. Now internally here, you might be able to see that we have a divider that splits the bag maybe for a water bottle, magazines, that sort of thing. But that divider unbuckles, Velcros, comes back around, and now just makes a little pocket like for a magazine, and then the bag can collapse quite a bit smaller. Then the last sort of neat feature on this section is that we can do this and drop down, deploy a little bag rest, where let's say you're working on a weapon or you have to write up a report, or even something like a phone can be put in here and it'll work through the clear window.
So nice admin area.
Yeah, little admin area. And you'll notice these retainers, they do a little trick where they go to the middle so they don't get caught in the zippers on the way out.
On traditional ones, I've seen it as a snag hazard, that bend helps out a lot.
Yeah, some people have cut them out because they were getting in the way so much. They said forget the retainer because it's too much of a problem with the zippers. And then on the side, we have a built-up pouch that you get for free that'll hold up to like a pop can size thing, and if you open it up it'll hold a bigger bottle, like a water bottle. And then on the other side we've left it free for customization. There's a little pocket underneath for maybe a knife sheath. There's a fatter piece of MOLLE here, and typically what I will use it for personally for city use is I have one of our civilian style hard cases for sunglasses.
Nice.
And that's MOLLE compatible, and I'll feed it through, lock it on, and then you've got a sunglasses case permanently attached. Okay. So that's pretty much all the features. I think it's a neat little pack for concealed carry, or just for sort of people who like a tactical look, or for military needing a little bag to use on a seat side inside of a vehicle, something like that. Okay. And they'll be available in a couple of months, and they retail for $69.
Great, looks like a lot of cool new features. Pushing it to the limit there.
Thanks, Monkey, for having a look at all the stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed watching.